Hey everyone, so decided to pick up the EC droid again and give it a quick paint. So full disclosure, I haven't gone nuts for the sanding. I've filled in the worst of the seam lines with some Vallejo plastic putty. You know, I haven't gone to town with sanding the top of this because it's a droid. People don't really pay. Well, you probably would now, wouldn't you? Go and see it. They'd look at it, but they wouldn't really mind if they see the panel lines. Whereas if it's something like BB-8, Chopper, R2, you know there are no panel lines. Whereas this, I can kind of get away with it. Plus, this is supposed to be kind of a quick build as well. So I haven't sanded it as much as I would normally. I haven't spray puttied it. As I said, I've literally just done that bit. What I have done is on here where it's sort of built up the layers, and I haven't done adaptive height like on here. You can see the ridges are on here. I did go around it using my new toy, which is one of those electric foot sanders. So it's worked really well, and to be fair, that's just sanded with an electric foot sander and then just sprayed with primer, and even under there as well. Miles better than it was. Honestly, I would normally do better with spray putty, but I really can't be bothered to sand all this. Plus a lot of it's so intricate as well. Anyway, so it's been sprayed grey, and I've taken out the mesh that's been taken out, taken the bolts out, so he's now back into his constituent parts. So the question is now, how am I going to paint it? Now, I'm in two minds. I was going to go along the lines of a white and red colour scheme, sort of a la this. But the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I'm actually just going to go along the same colour scheme as my pit droid, which is using Volkswagen Diamond Black and Ford Monza / Electric Blue, which I don't have a can to hand to show you, and aluminium. I quite like that colour scheme, and I think I might start using it on some of the other droids. So I'm going to do this one in that colour scheme, and the repair battle droid thing, I can't actually remember what he's called, the one I haven't done a video for, but he was the worst cameraman in the world droid. I might do him in the same colour scheme as well. For the most part, the panel lines are gone, the seam lines are gone. So I can just let this fully cure now, and then we'll paint it black, mask it up, paint the blue, paint this aluminium, and then maybe look at putting some lights in here as well. Might do, might not. What I am going to do is, once this is fully cured, is take the lid off and put a bit of styrene underneath. No, sorry, once it's painted and cured, I'll put the styrene underneath, and then if I do put any lights, that'll diffuse the lights better. Just some sort of thin 1/2 mil styrene. So that's the plan. For you, it'll be a couple of seconds. For me, it's probably going to be a few days, because this is the last chance I'm going to get for a few days, because the weather's going to turn. Right, I've given these a quick coat of matte black. That's mainly just to make these cans last longer. So I've just given everything a quick coat with that. And then I'll give everything a coat over with that. It should mean those two cans last long enough. I've got to wait for these to dry and then flip them over and spray the other side. Same with those. And that. And that. But yeah, anyway, just give it a quick spray of the Diamond Black. Let that cure, then we can do the blue. And then the aluminium. Okay, so I've masked these up, and anything you can see showing black right now is going to be painted with the blue. Apart from that, that's going silver. And this ribs bit will be silver. I'm going to do the whole thing blue, let it dry, remask, and then do that. However, that's all the electric blue I've got left, and Halfords changed their paint codes. It's bloody hard to find anything. But for some reason, I have a few different other blues. So I've got this one, which from the label looks similar. So let's find out. Oh, eagle eye, I actually may have noticed I've already given it a quick spray of black. So that's the electric blue. It's fairly close. I can live with that. I can get hold of this one because I know that my local range has this. So I'm not going to use that, which is what I prefer to use. I'm going to use that. So just give these a quick spray. I'll do the aluminium there. And then once that's dry, I can remask. And as I said, aluminium, there's going to be an aluminium bit there, aluminium bit there, and there's the vent on the side here. They're also going to be aluminium. And on the back, that little knob's going to be aluminium as well. There we are. Just let that dry off now. I quite like that blue. Right, that's the silver on. Layer line's a bit more visible in the silver, but yeah. And decided to keep the nozzle, rocket nozzle, AG nozzle, kept it silver. And so yeah, let that dry. And then we can take the masking tape off. Right, there we go. Right, taking the masking tape off, and quite a few of what the hell happened there moments. Yeah. Something about this aluminium, even though I coated it with the colour underneath, it just, I mean, that could be weathering almost, but it actually looks like scratched. Yeah, it just leaks through. Anyway, it's on black, so I can tidy most of it up. Yeah, things like that. The arms came out okay for the most part. Some stuff can be hidden by weathering. But other bits, it's just like, okay. Anyway. However, I am pleased with the colour scheme. So I'll get some matte black, tidy it up, and then we can put them back together. Right. Well, at least I've got them half back together. I haven't put the screws back in, all the little tubes, but it's looking all right. Needs a bit of tidying up here and there. I need to do some pin striping, or some at least some washes in the recesses to try and cover up the fact where the masking tape changed and there's a bit of a colour transition between the two. Other than that, random bit there. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good. So now we're going to look at lighting. We're going to do lighting in the base and lighting for these three LEDs and one there as well. And I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. We're going to need some fake Wago connectors, some pre-wired LEDs, a 9-volt battery box, and this, which is I can get into it, is a LED strip with a remote control, battery powered. So and you've got the LED strip there. So let's start with the LED strip because that's fairly easy. Take him off. Hopes be alright. Take that back out. Right, let's make a bit of room. Take the base apart. And a bit of blossom. Right. First of all, we're going to put some diffusion on here. You notice it's got some styrene sheets here. So we're just going to cut some styrene sheets. Roughly to size. There you go, just roughly cut, and we're just going to super glue them down. Super glue or styrene. Now. As this stuff is literally designed for it, why not use it? Just being very careful not to get any of it in the recess, otherwise it will ruin the paintwork. Okay. Hope it didn't damage the paintwork there. Right. Leave that to dry for a minute. So now we've got this. Just a battery box with a controller, LED control, and then on the other end it's just a long strip of LEDs that you can cut every 3 LEDs. And this is about 3 feet, I think, from memory. There we go. It's a nice long strip of LEDs. And on this particular model, there's a little down arrow, a little arrow there. And then on here, there's also a corresponding arrow if you line the two up. And put some batteries in, 2 secs. Assuming these batteries are going to work. I'll say they work. Okay. And then got the little remote control here. So we can just change the colours so we can have it all red, green, blue, white, orange, going into yellow. We can have it fading, strobing white, flashing, and this changes the speed of the flash. So yeah, pretty good. And I'm just going to sit that in here. I was thinking about popping it through the hole here, but I'd have to break this wire, cut this wire, and then yeah, it's just too much messing around. It all fits nicely in here. So all I'm going to do is just peel the backing off and just stick the LEDs around. Just peel the backing off and stick the LEDs down. Yeah, okay. Nope, that's just peeling away the entire glue strip. Just there we go. Right. So I'm just going to literally just stick this in here. Like that. Like that. And that was enough to essentially give more or less 2 rotations around. I could have cut it, but what am I going to do with those extra LEDs? go. There we go. I say the signal wasn't working. There we go. That works pretty well. Strobe. Unfortunately, only strobes white. This will fade into this, do a rainbow effect into all the colours. Quite pleased with that. Right. Now we come on to the head. Sorry, that wasn't important. Right. So I think before we put the lights in, let's get the mesh back in. Right, they're hot glue back in. I may, in fact, I probably will put some backing behind that. Just some black mesh or something something black, just to stop the light coming through. Anyway, let's look at the LEDs. So there's 4 LED holes. These are 3mm holes. That's supposed to be a 3mm hole. It's not quite. So I have bought a pack of 50 pre-soldered with a resistor on the positive end LEDs. So as I said, these are 3mm and they'll work anywhere up to 12 volts. The pack I bought does come with the like the 9-volt connectors, just the plug bit. But I bought a pack of the boxes to put it in. As I said, the Wago connectors. So 4 LEDs and a power, 2 5-pin Wagos. And if we hook up our power, let me just pop it in there. Hopefully, when that snaps down, that should. Excellent. And then repeat for the other one, for the black wire. Excellent. Actually, I'm going to put the battery in now. So it's just a 9-volt battery. You probably could run this on AAs if you wanted to. just have to work out the number of batteries you'd need to run this on, or even a LiPo. Right, there we go. Turn that off because I don't want to send power through it just yet. Right, so I've got 3 white and 1 blue. My blue is going to go in the little Polo projector thing on the side. So I'm going to make that the one closest to the battery, and I'm going to make these wire connections a little bit longer. I've got to snip them carefully because unfortunately my wire stripper will actually just go through the entire wire rather than stripping the thing off. Right. So I'm going to put the blue closest to the end. That's just for my wiring circuit more than anything. There's no other reason for it. Try and keep them untangled from each other as well. Right, let's see if that works. We have a working blue LED. Science works. Right. Now let's do the white ones. So I'll do the white ones and then I'll come back. Right, got there eventually. The wires are so thin that if I knock them in, if I just put them in just the wrong place, see the blue one's just gone off. If they're in just the wrong place, they won't turn on. All right, we need some hot glue. And all I'm going to do is just hot glue the LEDs into the holes there. All I'm going to do. And hopefully in the process I don't disturb the wiring. The battery box will just sit on there. Actually, it gave me some holders, didn't it? There we go. Might give us something better to glue onto. Let's try and put some glue there. Oh, missed it completely. Okay. Naturally, the blue light decides not to work. Right, these ones I know will just push in. Pop these in. Stay in place. Like that. Attempt. Let's get some hot glue. So if I never need to take the things out again. Oh, lost one. Stay. Stay. Well, at least the white ones are working. They're pretty bright. Right, let's try and sort out this blue one. There we go. Right, let's take you out. Pop you back in. Something about the wire. Something about this blue wire when it clips down.
20 minutes later.
There we go. Right. Oh, come on. Oh, no, it's just come out. It's not gone off, it's just come out. Yeah, this is supposed to be the easy way of doing the lights.
1 hour later.
Right, that's run out of power. So you need to charge that. But you get the idea. I'm going to have to charge it up and then go back around and give it some more hot glue. And then just put all the wires in there. Blind yourself, lining up the holes. There we go. So a relatively simple way of doing the lights. Let's have those flashing. A lens might be required there. I haven't got any small enough ornament baubles to do this yet, but there we go. Actually, no, you can sort of see what's going on inside. Yeah, okay. I'll put something behind the mesh as well. Stop you being able to see inside. Let's go for white. That's blue, not white. Green, blue, white. Still looks blue. Right. So I'll charge him up, do them in properly. Right. Here we are. So as you can see, I started filling in some silver lining using a Molotow chrome pen. It's a 1mm chrome pen. Fortunately, the nib appears to have broken on this one, so I've ordered a new one. I've got to wait for that to turn up if I can finish off. But you can see where I'm going with it, sort of just outlining the silver bits in the pinstripe lines. I put the tubes back in and I let them be, all twisted out. That's fine. So he's ready. He just needs a lens. I decided not to put any mesh here. I quite like it being like that, but just needs to put a lens on. I'll come to that in a minute. But while I was painting all this, I was thinking, actually, I really miss the fact I haven't done the other colour scheme that I wanted to do. So I did another one. So this is in the EC-1 colour scheme that I was on about. So this is in the EC-1 colour scheme. And I've painted the little tubes blue, and they're already flaking off, so I don't know how long that's going to last. I couldn't find any actual blue tubes. And as you can see, I've done the pinstriping. Needs a bit of tidying up. And instead of the metal mesh, I put the black mesh on here. And yeah, he's got the same LEDs in the base, and he's got the same LEDs in here, except for I went blue and white rather than white and blue. Other than that, he's identical. And yeah, so this is, oh, what was I going to call? I think I was going to call him Ecto, something like that. So it needs a better name. But anyway, he's even got the little simplified no-go symbol on his shoulder, sort of angled as well because it's kind of Star Wars. But yeah, he's there. I'm quite pleased with that one. So there's 2 of them. They're multiplying. Right. So I think the last thing we're going to do on this is put a lens on there. Now I ordered some 40mm 4cm baubles that will fill up, and they come in 2 halves. I've got a whole pack of them. They come in 2 halves. As you can see on there, this has got a recess, and this has got the inset, so they clip together. I'm going to use the one with the inset, and a 4cm one will quite nicely just sit there. Just need to snip this bit off. So I'm just going to quickly do that. And I was umming and ahhing about getting the 5cm one versions of these, and then trim them down. But I don't think it really matters too much. So the cut mark of where I just cut the tab off, I'm going to put at the bottom. And kind of gives it a, yeah, maybe it's a bit too far out. I don't know. Maybe I should have got the 50 and cut it. No, do you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to keep this. It's up to you. 4cm will fit nicely in that hole. You could get 50 or 60 and then cut it down enough so you can then pop it in and have a sort of a shallower depth. But yeah, I'm going to go with 4cm. And it's, as I said, it's just big enough to go in. And if I'm clever, it might even just friction fit in. Or just crack, one or the other. In fact, is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's just friction fitted in. So we've done him. So the other one. So this one's not going to. Actually, would it fit? Let's try it. Wait for this to ping off somewhere. No. Or maybe. Maybe. Just cracked it. The lens, I mean. No, it's just very, very slightly too big. Very, very slightly. Take another one of these. Another one of these, and then very gently cut the tab off. And oh, it's not going to ping off today. No, there we go. I said there is a bit of a scar where it was. But you put it at the bottom, no one's going to notice. go. That's in. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I'm actually really happy with that. Oh yeah, you could trim it down. I mean, I could even trim those down and have it sat in slightly more. But I quite like it. Yeah, the bulbousness is growing on me. I was thinking about a lens for this, and I could cut one of these, I suppose. Don't know how. Yeah, it's probably not worth doing that one. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Yeah, so I'm going to leave these there, and I am going to weather them, but I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to weather it. The pit droid, I kind of weathered the edges, dry brushing silver paint around, and it worked quite well. And then got Games Workshop's rust paint and sort of rusted bits in, and then a bit of black dirty down. I might do the same on this guy. The other chap, this one, I'm not sure how to weather him because it's supposed to resemble Ecto-1, and Ecto-1 isn't dirty. So we'll see. But yeah, these will be weathered at some point. But for a build video, I think these guys are done. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.